Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy Gerald. It is 23rd, correction, 24th of October, 2017. How is everybody doing? It is bright and early, family. Yeah, it is. Got my coffee, some Corona bean. And as you turn on the TV, there's always something that you're going to find that you ain't going to like to see. It's always going to be something that you're going to hear that you're not going to want to hear. There's always going to be an example of what not being a human is about. But every blue moon, there's a sprinkle of humanity. There's a dash of hope. There's also a very light point made when it comes to compassion. But as the days go by, as the months progress, and Christ family, the year will be in the history books in 2018, will start anew. The one thing that'll be constant, and that is the demand for your focus, demand for your time. Because it's all about here. It's all about what makes your ideology, how you see the world, and the concepts that define it, how you react to it, and what makes you come to that point of reference. That is why it's so important, family, more than ever. You got to love yourself. But before you can even decree what love is, you must know who you are. Because unfortunately, there is a table that is endless called misery. That's right. That table is endless. And that's why you always hear the saying, misery loves company. You realize how hard that would be if you focused on you? You wouldn't be able to rationalize. You wouldn't be able to have time if you put just 50% of your effort, your energy inside you. But now, more than ever, we are in the season of the ant and the grasshopper. We are in the moments of the opportunists. Oh, yes. You know the opportunists. They're always there when you're at your lowest point. They're always in your ear when you're most distracted. But the thing about it is they're never there when clarity must be required. When things are placed in review, they're not there. And they're not going to be there. And the reason for that is quite simple, because before that first hello registered in that precious mind, they already scanned you out. They already know your strengths and weaknesses. They know this. But you know what they also know? They know that you don't know it either. And they are there systematically until clarity or the realization has been forged. Haven't you noticed the moment you have that aha moment, they ain't nowhere around, right? But when the party is going on and the illusion is thick, the distractions all around you, they are the conductor orchestrating everything that plays out. Why? Because they have a stake invested in your distraction. Now, I know for some, you're not going to want to hear this because this is the reality that you live in right now. And you actually convinced that this is all you're going to be. You're going to be in this low place, right? Things ain't working right, right? You're tired of hearing the truth, right? Well, let me give you some more truth. Your life is priceless, but it will not make sense until you see it for yourself. No, you don't get a gold star for being the martyr. You don't get a medal for being the victim. You notice there's a lot of victims these days. You notice how there's always room at the table for, I told you, but they're never there when it's required to roll your sleeves up. They're never there when that moment when you decided to first backslide. No. But here's the thing. They knew the whole time. Now, this is not a moment for you to be pissed off. This is a moment for you to give yourself permission to look at what needs to be looked at. To finally say, I've had enough. To look at things out of the box and consider, ponder, what would life be like if I did this compared to what I've been doing? Because let's be honest, how's it working out thus far? You know how you hear people say, well, what's the worst that could happen? I'll tell you, you'd be happy. You would see the value of your life. You would understand how precious that person in the mirror that you see every morning is. There'll never be another you. You're convinced because you may be seasoned, because you're a little older. Now the aha light has gone off and you may be in your 60s and you say, well, Gerald, if I'm lucky, I might just have 40 years if I'm lucky. Maybe those will be the 40 years that you truly understand what living is about. Maybe this is the moment that you'll finally tell that mountain to move. Who am I talking to? Because if you don't, everything that you went through, everything that you felt, mind you, I keep trying to tell you, that is nothing but spiritual influence. I mean, just look at it from a non-literal sense. Because I know there's a lot of people that watch my videos and you don't believe in God. You believe in man. Some of y'all even believe that the devil is your master. Good luck with that because he's the ultimate deceiver. And the greatest trick he ever performed was to convince man that he does not exist. But that's okay. It's your life. It's your story. It's your burden. Maybe if you decide to ground your feet and what you perceive as a mountain is really nothing but a molehill. And maybe that molehill that's before you that had you terrified to do anything, the moment that you believe that you can, it moves. Maybe at the moment that you decide to start to trust yourself, all the things connected to that emotion, how about the people? They're going to move too. Because what will happen by spirit. It'll happen in silence too, because the more that you go within yourself, guess what happens? There is a spiritual realignment going on. And those people, that's right, those people, I don't care if they're connected to you by blood or bone. I don't care if you're laying next to them. I don't care if it's the people you break bread with. If they do not have the same mindset, guess what? They definitely won't see the direction you're headed. And you'll know, because there's a lot of demons doing work. You know, that Jezebel spirit, she loves breaking up homes. She does. She loves going after your kids. She'll actually use you to get to your kids or the person that you hold dear the most. 2-for-1 deal. That's what they do. That's what demons do. But I got it. We're too preoccupied on what man is doing and not being still, allowing to see what God is showing us. That's what history is about, family. History is not about allegory, because history is nothing but an interpretation that point of reference or that person is depicting, and up to you to internalize it as fact. But the fact is, you're going to see it again. I know countless people that are hearing my voice. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There have been countless examples in your life where you've seen and you've said to yourself, oh, I remember I seen this before. I heard someone say this. Maybe the words were a little different, but the message was still clear and it resonated. Why? Because that was God still letting you know you his child. That was God still, whatever. He created it. He created it to use you, to get to you. Maybe that's the reason why you don't turn on the radio these days, because every time you seem like to turn the radio on, you hear a song and it makes you feel a certain kind of way. You ain't crazy. That's God trying to connect to you. That's God's way. As simple as it is. Remember what he asked? He said, I just need faith of a mustard seed. You realize how small a mustard seed is? He's basically, let me break it down to somebody. God is saying, just show me some effort. And make sure that that effort that you show me, it is of you. Because I can't work with imitation. Because that imitation will have the effect, not you. When you're going to get tired of waking up in tears, going to bed the same way, feeling paranoid, wondering why you're not understood, why people don't get you, or maybe why people have wrote you off. These are all descriptive words. They matter not unless you embrace them. So why won't you flip it? Why won't you internalize it? Like integrity. What about intimacy? You know, Jan Van Zant made this metaphor very, very clear. Into me, I see. But if you're looking inside you, what do you see? Are you just poking and peeking and not taking the time to survey all that makes you you? You know, it takes a lifetime to learn your story, right? So why are you allowing a quick fling to define it? Huh? Does it surprise you every time you say, well, I'm going to go find me somebody? You only find pain. If anything, you find the example of what you don't need. Keyword need. But you know what you don't find? You don't find ownership. You don't find accountability. I'm not bashing you. I'm trying to validate what you feeling. Because see, Joe got to live his life. And for those who have watched and listened that know my story, first of all, there are no words that I can say to you to express my thanks. But I hope that you will listen to my words of insight, because when you decide to listen to my words will be pushed to the side for your own. You will start to understand the correlation of what is required, what you need. And all those things that you are afraid of will become marginalized. They will move to the side. And yes, those connections will be tested. Be prepared to watch them all go away. Only a select few will earn the right to know your story. Only a few will earn the right to know your dreams. You do understand the greatest gift you could ever bestow to a person is not found in a bank account, is not found in a store, it is not given freely or traded for. The greatest gift that you will ever bestow anybody is to watch you grow. Will you stop? There's Tyson over there in this kennel. Hey, man, lay down. Lay down. You done already ate breakfast already. Nothing wrong with you. Lay down. No. You know I'm on the camera. That's why he wants to be a little ham. Lay down, man. What'd I say? Didn't I say lay down? So let it sink in, family. Stop rushing through your life. Stop looking at the people that have access to your life like they the end all be all, and they have not proven their worthiness. This is not a position for you to take a stance of being selfish. No, I'm not saying that at all, because there's plenty of examples of what selfishness is about. There's plenty of examples of opportunists too. And what do I say about opportunists? An opportunist does not need your help to expose himself. What is required is you have the courage to acknowledge what you're being shown. Why? Because that's God. And God will always give you what you need, even though you didn't earn it. Sometimes God will give you a blessing you know you didn't deserve, like only He could, just to see if you're going to squander it too. Who am I talking to? You know you didn't deserve that, but it was given. Does it surprise you didn't understand the value of what was given to you? But you didn't think about it, might have been a test. And depending on how it was manifested, because it was manifested because you spoke it into existence. You're feeling kind of shook. There's only one way to have clarity, family. That's for you to go inside yourself. But see, right now, let me shift gears. Now more than ever, you need to circle your wagons. You need to stop worrying about what the next man or woman is doing. You need to stop that. And you need to focus on what's best for you. Did you hear me? Because the people that take that position are the ones that always got to criticize, but yet they don't have the substance to back it up. Why? Because they're missing the application to make it so themselves. So, like they say, a hater only presents themselves when you're doing something right. But that also breeds envy. Remember, I tell you, demons, they like the 2-for-1 deal. So if you're too busy listening to what's being criticized, they winning. And it ain't about proverbially winning or losing. It's about keeping yourself focused. Maybe this is a moment that you decide, hey, I'm ready to go back to school or start school. Or maybe this is the moment that you have this job that you know you've outgrown. You say, well, I'm going to hold this down. But while I'm holding this down, I'm going to seek better opportunity. See, our opportunists, they fill in the blocks, right? They get in where they fit in only till they're discovered and then they are replaced. There's no foundation under these folks. And it's sad because this is a behavior that socially we have embraced. The requirement, see, I'm trying to be very politically correct, but it's hard. See, you don't have room to complain if you ain't putting in the work. You don't have the right to critique if there's no follow through in that. There's no initiation into the process. The greatest application ever to be bestowed by you is your life. You are already made perfect, family. Why can't you understand that? Why are you looking for validation where there is no validation? Even convinced you that because you don't walk, talk, act a certain way, you are less than. Maybe you are in your own lane, which you should be. Do you realize how many people every day wake up and they realize, man, I done wasted XYZ amount of time. Man, I done wasted XYZ amount of money. Man, I done wasted XYZ amount of opportunities. because you were too busy worrying about what someone else thought. Or what they brought to the table. Well, I got to live my life through Charlie because Charlie the breadwinner. But you complaining. You complaining. But nobody told you to align yourself with Charlie either. Because you got a wedding ring on your finger doesn't mean your brain stops. But I can tell you this. The commonality is this. If Charlie don't have a relationship with God, Charlie is going through life not knowing who he is. Therefore, Charlie does not have a direction, and you willfully are going nowhere. You already know the outcome on that. It's going to end. No matter how hard you try to juggle and put stuff together to put things, to put the little fires out in your life, it ain't going to turn out the way you imagine it to. Why? Because that's not you. It never was. And I'm not bashing. I want you to understand. Because a lot of people got this misconception. Okay, now I made a choice, and this choice was not in my best interest. So I just got to ride it out because that was a choice that I made. But I won't take accountability for the choice I made. I'm just going to fake it to make it, but be miserable the whole time and end up robbing yourself of time. You see it all the time. You see the weariness in your face. Doesn't matter how much makeup you put on there. A broken man is a broken man, just like a broken woman is a broken woman. It doesn't matter how many people she opens her legs to. She will never find happiness until she finds herself. How do you think addictions come? And addictions is nothing but daily torment. That's all it is. Because if that was the case, if it wasn't, then that person that got high for the very first time would do it one time and leave it alone, because you know what goes up comes down. But what keeps them up is that pain. What keeps them on cloud nine is the reality of that pain. They refuse to acknowledge what got them there. No, I don't like my life, Gerald, but you're not changing it. Nobody can drive your destiny but those feet that you got, that mind you have, and your will to see it through. That's why I kind of see it. I think it's kind of funny because now, more than ever, I see a pattern. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of it because y'all going to have your own emotions and opinions. Hold on. Lay down. Stop making that noise. Lay down. I said lay down. Thank you. Don't you think it's kind of coincidental? Every year there's always a scandal. The faces change, but the story's still the same. But what I never did understand is this. What keeps people so silent? What keeps your mouth closed? It's definitely not fear. But see, when it's good, oh, it's okay. But when it's bad, now I want to turn around and let the world know what I should have told the world day one. And you always see the same person sitting right there too, coaching them too. Don't matter, just like a vulture. But that's what they do. That's what opportunists are. But I bet you a nickel to a dime, they too got a story to tell too. So I'm gonna bring this home, family. I'm not going to sit up here and say, I told y'all. All I can do is bring awareness. If you do not understand that we are in the season of the ant and the grasshopper, you will not understand what I've metaphorically tried to convey to each and every one of you. Don't be afraid of what's being revealed. But didn't God always say, what's done in the dark comes to the light? And if it is not his will for your life, you're going to see it. It's not going to go away. It'll manifest into maybe a different face, but you're going to feel that energy. And until you decide to be the champion of your life, to finally hear that call and ask yourself, who am I? It won't be then until you understand, be able to answer this. What do I need to be happy? What do I need to feel whole? What do I need to do to feel emotionally safe? That's a problem with a lot of y'all. I was there too. Don't get me wrong. It took me 25 years to figure this out. Didn't know who Youre was. Saw a lot of things. Met a lot of people. Shed a lot of tears. But even in my low point, God was still there. He was still there. The opportunity was still there. Because of what? I'm his child. It's not going to turn his back on you unless you put yourself in a position where it's warranted. Oh, yeah, you're going to reap what you sow. But just know that, just like that secret that you hold, that lie you told, that betrayal you may have done, until you make it right, your life is not going to be as it's intended. Family, please love yourself. Stop putting so much emphasis and focus on things and people that will not be there. You know why they won't be there? It's because they have not shown nor earned the right to hear you breathe. So, as I always say, Queen, stop looking for your man. You'll only find Mr. Right Now. Same goes with you, King. And just know this. The person that is intended to be in your life is being made new. They will be your mirror. They will be your reflection of your state of mind. Some of y'all know that right now because you inhale right now. You inhale. You live in hell right now because they don't love you. If you've got to have this conversation or this thought run past you, he don't make love to me. He just, She don't act like she's my wife or my spouse, only when she wants something. If you're having these conversations, let me tell you what, these people don't have a relationship with God. They don't. And they did whatever they had to do to get right where they are right now. But here's the thing. Until you're willing to see it for yourself, you won't see this. The person that is intended to protect your heart, they can't get to you because you're too focused on what's there. So in other words, what I'm saying to you is this. If they don't have a relationship with God, They don't know who they are. They don't have a relationship with themselves. So if they don't have a relationship with themselves, they are faking it to make it. But they don't have a clue where they're going. So why are you going to put yourself in harm's way only to attract more of the same? We are what we attract. We are what we attract, family. Don't let them fool you. Your friends and the people that have access to your life are a reflection of your state of mind right now. So if you don't like what you're seeing, why don't you be vulnerable? Why won't you listen for once? How about you just be quiet? Because if you just be quiet, you can hear yourself. No. I know somebody's like, well, you ain't telling me that, Gerald. That's your problem. That's why you're in the position that you're in now. Because you have no self-control. And guess what? Isn't that very evident? Your friends have no self-control either. Just like they have no loyalty. That's why they're a dime a dozen now. And they're going to continue to show you that example until you decide to love yourself more. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. You're going to see a whole lot of people that want to turn around, jump on bandwagons on stuff, and really that ain't nothing but a social position tactic. These are the same people. Just as quick as they get it, as quick as they're going to lose more. Why? That's the road of the opportunists. And that road always has a dead end. Be blessed.